And so the question is, how do we create knowledge? Well, that's one of the ways we do that is through learning, and playfulness is how we all learned as children. And so creativity ties into that playfulness, that curiosity of, how do we do things new, create something new from scratch. If I already know what I need to document, then it's not the same thing as, I can write down stuff that's in my head that I already know. But if I'm in a situation where I have a problem that I'm trying to solve and I don't think, at least, that I have what I need in my head, it's not top of mind, certainly, just to write down a couple of paragraphs or create a document or whatever I might do. If I'm in the situation where I need to create something new, then we need to tap into that knowledge within ourselves and within our teams. And so creativity and arts-based interventions I'm talking about with Radical KM is how to do that. How to get people out of their comfort zones, get out of their the boxes that they live in every day, and look at things differently, question the status quo, question how they've always done things, question, their assumptions about a situation or an outcome.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the data management community, we talk a lot about data quality and structuring the data and interoperability and systems knowing what people know. So there's a strong focus on the automation side of things, the linear thinking, if you allow me the term. It's a linear type of problem solving where the problem, the solution. All you have to do is to connect the right knowledge, the right information, right data at the right time when the problem arises. But we know that is kind of not possible because you can't predict all possible problems. That's why we still need humans in the loop. Otherwise, we could run businesses completely with bots. There's something about being humans that is special, that is different. What is it? What is that thing that makes us different from bots?
That we're not linear. We've got creativity, which is really what differentiates us from the technology, and it can't, at least at this point. And honestly, I don't think that it's going to be anytime soon that technology is going to be able to replicate it, because it's not linear. We're not sure how that happens, how, giving my brain some space and going and doing something else, engaging in something else, and for me, oftentimes lately, I've been waking up with the idea of how to solve a problem that I've gone to bed thinking about the night before, that I didn't know what the solution was. I woke up in the morning going, this is what it is,
Clicks. Yeah.
So yeah, our brains, we don't understand. And this is why, I do the arts-based stuff that I do and try to help people make those connections and create the space for those things to float up and those connections to sort of float to the surface from wherever they are. So
yeah, there's a clash here, right? I see an obvious problem between the expectation of a lot of business leaders, particularly those that are financially driven, that worry about measuring things and putting ROIs close to every line item in every spreadsheet, which is something we need to do as businesses. We need to stay afloat, we need to make profits, and we need to use those profits to reach our vision and execute our mission. But it can be blinding if we focus only on those numbers, particularly when we're trying to find solutions that are not obvious and that require that elasticity, that freedom to not measure everything, to not worry about, am I making progress? Because your subconscious is doing work even when you sleep, and a solution could be around the corner. But motivating this to a financially driven business leader can be quite tough sometimes. You're the first one that brings those two worlds together and publicly says, hey, it's not either you're an artist or you're a scientist or an engineer. You can be both. Actually, everybody is a bit of both. It's just that we kill one of the two because we want to conform to society or the expectations that people have on us. So how do we undo that damage?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And I don't know that I have an easy answer for it, honestly. I think keeping an open mind and being curious and recognizing that not everything that matters can be measured. And some of the things that can be measured, honestly, don't matter. And that's a paraphrase, a quote from somebody else. Those are not my words, but um, yeah, we get so caught up in trying to create this certainty because we're uncomfortable with uncertainty. And so, and I think that's where, if we're going to get better at accepting that we are both analytical and creative, both the scientist and the artist, it's being more comfortable with the uncertainty of that situation, of that apparent conflict, of, well, I can't be both. Well, who says you can't be both? I'm both, because I have my undergrads in accounting and I have an MBA in IT, and I can tell you when I started being more artistic and creative, life got a whole lot more fun and enjoyable, and my work got a whole lot more fun and enjoyable, combining them together, rather than saying, oh no, I can't be both things. So I think we need to question why we have these beliefs, and throw them out the window, quite honestly, and accept that, and I think the idea of bringing the whole self to work, the whole person at work, is trying to get at that notion. I look at Radical KM as building on that, as supporting that idea.